answer the question right off the bat. No, that sheep isn't AI. Or is it? Maybe, depending on who you ask. AI has gotten so complicated over the last couple of years. It's really astounding how little it seems that most people know about it, and the ones who do know about it seem to just be trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I wanted to talk about it, especially since it seems to be getting more and more, I don't even know if relevance is the right word, ever present, omnipresent in our day to day lives. For a little bit of background, I've been working in AI for the past 2 years as more of a quality controller. I've worked on some projects that you've heard of and have probably used, but I can't say the names of. So, with that in mind, I feel like I have a little bit of leeway to talk about this in some capacity. With that in mind, I'm not an expert, and make your own opinions. Getting started, is that sheep AI? Well, kind of. It is artificial intelligence, and it is running off of a learning platform where it's going to react to the stimuli of the environment. If it sees grass, it's going to eat that grass, and if it gets hit, it's going to run away. That is a form of artificial intelligence. What we're seeing, though, and why most people would say that that's not artificial intelligence, is the miscommunication of what artificial intelligence actually is. And that's in large part due to large language models such as ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, which is a stupid name. Those have been what people, and especially in the past couple of years, has considered to be real AI. You know, the stuff that they can use in their day-to-day lives. But I think this is stupid, and I think this is just another example of Wall Street and tech billionaires trying to pull the rug over our eyes, and it's another example of companies not actually doing anything except lining their pockets with more and more money. And I have some background to say this. So think about, let's say Apple Intelligence, right? I feel like this is one of the more blatant examples of this. Apple Intelligence is just Siri. It's just an updated Siri. I mean, can you name any other difference? I've not noticed a single thing it's done different, except for having a couple extra features that Siri didn't have originally. Why is that suddenly considered artificial intelligence? Was Siri not? I remember Siri being labeled as artificial intelligence, especially when I was younger. It's just cannibalizing off of the hype train that other companies are using, and it's just so Apple doesn't feel like they're falling behind. They're not falling behind. Nothing's changed. There's only a few companies who have actually made big strides, and those big strides have been in large language models, which are incredibly useful, but for the most part, not for what people have been using them for. I'm sorry, but using an artificial intelligence to help you write an essay is just, for one, it's lazy. Two, it doesn't really change anything. I mean, we've had platforms recommending, oh, you should change this word. Oh, maybe use this one instead for years now. Whether it be in Microsoft Office, whether it be in Google Docs, or Apple's Pages, I guess. Regardless, we've had platforms doing this for a long time. The difference is they're writing the whole thing for us now, which is stupid and dumb and dangerous, and I don't understand the sudden desire for lack of care being put into things, but regardless, it's not that. The new forms of AI coming out, and the reason they're exciting aren't because of what they can do right now, it's because of the potential for what they could do in the future. Yet these companies, their valuations are so high based on a product that's not even useful yet. It'd be like if somebody came out with a computer that couldn't do anything, and they said, hey, in 10 years, guess what? We're going to be able to do some calculations on this. Okay, that's great. Can it do anything right now? Is there any amount of actual value it gives us? And I do think there's a few exceptions to this. OpenAI honestly is doing good work. Some of the stuff that they are producing is changing fields. but it's not changing the field you think. We don't need AI to go into the creative field and take away writers' jobs, or suddenly make it to where artists don't actually need to draw stuff or paint things. I mean, that's not useful. What is useful is artificial intelligence sifting through massive amounts of data to come up with different ways of doing things that we might not have thought about. I think a large way that AI is going to be useful, especially in the future, is, medical. Diagnosing things, noticing patterns that are just too imperceptibly small for us to be able to actually do anything with. I feel like that's going to be a big way, and that's an exciting way for it to actually have a positive impact instead of just, taking over all of our jobs. And I mean, the fields that I want to go into, you never know. I mean, I don't think, who left this stream? I don't think that they are prone to AI taking over them, but, the horse didn't think that the car was going to be prone to taking over them, and look what happened. So, is that a good example for what's going on? I don't know, but it certainly feels like it. More and more, I mean, in one of my classes, they wanted you to utilize ChatGPT to write your essay. No, the whole point is for it to be hard. And I'm not a boomer. I do know that long term, there's going to be uses for AI in our day-to-day lives. But we're already using it. And that's the issue. Why is it all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, this is the next big thing? It was the next big thing 20 years ago. We've been using it since. You just introduce a large language model. That's the only real difference now. And yes, that is really cool and it's useful. But I don't need a large language model in my day-to-day life for the most part. Most people don't. I would much rather have an AI assistant, right? Something where it could more easily keep track of my task, let me know, hey, you're running late, you need to do this, don't forget to grab this, that sort of thing. And I'm sure there are companies working on that and coming out with them. But to say that AI is new and this field that has never been done before is false. Minecraft has had AI since, 2011? Video games have utilized them for years for procedurally generated worlds. I mean, that's artificial intelligence. They have to create them. We've been using AI for years. And so the sudden onset of companies claiming, oh, well, we utilize AI. Yeah, you utilize AI when you use GPS. It's not something new. It's just a way for them to add money back into their pockets. And I don't know. I find it lazy. I find it devoid of any real value. But who knows? Maybe that's just me. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the way that AI is being presented to us. I mean, have y'all seen those ads? I saw a Photoshop ad today. And the image, it was showing you an image creation software, which is, just legal theft, but whatever, I guess. And the image they created had that weird AI sheen on it. And you would think for an ad that they paid to show to other people, they would have at least made it look somewhat decent. But no, it was this weird bug that had jewels encrusted into it. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out what's the utility of this? What's the point? Why are you going to make consumers pay more for something that they don't even need? And there's so many examples of this. Why do I need an AI for a running app? I don't need it to tell me, oh yes, you ran good today. I know I ran good today. I was the one who did it. I don't need that. Who needs this? It's the inclusion of large language models that spew out the most just benign stuff on a day-to-day basis. And it's a fragmentation of our ability to make decisions on our own. And I feel like it's a step in the wrong direction. We don't need a software that's whole program design is to predict the most likely next word in the sequence for what the user needs to be helping us make decisions on our health. We don't need it trying to make decisions for shopping. I am tired of sitting there and trying to call my power company and a stupid artificial voice on the other end who makes I have to talk to them for 20 minutes to get anything done. And I always just try and get a representative, and by the time you get to the representative, your issues become worse. I was sitting on the phone for 4 hours the other day because this stupid AI kept just ending the call me because I wouldn't give it the answer it wanted to. Finally, I had to just tell it, oh no, this is an emergency, so, like someone's hurt. And then I got connected to an operator who had no idea what was going on, and they were like, yeah, no, you're fine. I'll just turn your power back on. It was turned off by mistake anyway. I know. It's just, it is frustrating that is the place we're at, where AI is being used primarily to take jobs from us, and primarily as a fake value creation for large companies. I can't see the point in it. I don't know. I don't understand. And maybe I'm old, but I don't understand why a company saying that they have AI is worth their value going up by billions. When, yeah, of course they have AI. Everybody does. I'm using it right now. Anyway, I was gonna make this video longer, but it is 1 a.m. and I am ranting to no end. So, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support on the most recent videos. Hardly anyone who watches are actual subscribers, but it still means a lot to see these views start going up and this channel do better and better. Really enjoying it, and if you have any suggestions for future content or future video ideas, let me know. Thanks.